All right. I'm so excited to be here with Calvin Correli. I have been a user of Calvin's product, Simplero, since 2022. Yes, and that's a real sign. We were just talking about that before we started recording. I always thought that was like a virtual, placement thing, but look at Calvin's going to actually change. Yeah, there we go. That's a real thing. So it's so cool. It's plexiglass. Anyway, so Calvin, I found you through researching online tech platforms. By the way, I just want to clarify this interview is going to be mostly about the mindset for entrepreneurs because without a developing and growth mindset, we're going to consistently be sieged with low self-esteem and inability to move forward in our business. And I see that again and again and again and again in my own clients, students, and Calvin, you as well, in your clients, and in ourselves, right? The need to
Yeah, I was
continue.
gonna say in my
Yeah,
own life too. Yeah.
totally. Yeah, the need to continually like observe, question, and then grow our mindset. So we're going to talk a lot about that, but I just wanted to quickly intro how I found you was in 2022. I was researching. I'm like finally tired. I, I was tired of like patching together so many technologies to run my business. And then I was also like, I think it's time to go pro. Like I started my business in 2009, which actually, interestingly, isn't that the same time Simplero started?
Yep. Yep.
We have an
Yeah.
amazing similar story. Um,
Yeah.
Simplero has gotten way more successful than my business, but I'm so glad. So I'm like, okay, I think it's time to finally go pro. I mean, I've been making gratefully six figures for years, but I'm like, I think it's time to take it to the next level of professionalism. I took a course from a Simplero user, Ingrid Lil. We both know and love her, and I'm like,
Mhm.
this is a great platform. What is this, Ingrid? And oh yeah, this is Simplero. I'm like, oh. I had heard about that like briefly, like maybe one, two people had mentioned it in the past. I'm like, it's time for me to look into it. And what really sold me on the platform. Now, there's two things sold me. One, I did, we were just talking before. I'm very methodical, right? Like I put a spreadsheet together and analyzed Kajabi, Podia, what was the other one? Some of the popular ones. I analyzed all the popular ones at the time. And I'm like, okay, Simplero. Let me analyze the different features. I signed up for like six or seven different software platforms, pretending I was going to start, using them. And I did. I started using them in different ways, and then I used Simplero the same way. And I'm like, okay, Simplero won, just even in the technical features part of it. But secondly, I think what really got to my heart, like as they say, that you win the sale really from the heart, and then the buyer justifies it with the mind. It's like
Mhm.
so, so really so that actually it was flipped how I made the decision. I first found you, Calvin. I mean, I researched it and I'm like, who's this Calvin guy? And then I looked at your YouTube videos. I'm like, this guy is so authentic. This guy is so real. And interestingly, at the time, our politics probably didn't align as much as we do now. But you were already talking some politics then. I'm like, whoa, this guy's so bold. This guy's really real. And I don't see any other software CEO like this. So you already won my heart first. And I, of course, looked at the Simplero about page as well. I'm like, oh yeah, the mission, and of course, Calvin, that all aligns. And then I justified it with the technical analysis. I'm like, well, there we go. Both
Mhm.
heart and mind is aligned here. So that's why I started. And then I've been a big user of Simplero, big endorser of it because I use it every day. All of you who are watching this, if you receive my emails that come from Simplero, I mean the newsletters and the reminder emails, and if you sign up for my webinars, that sign up is through Simplero. If you take my courses, that's all on Simplero. If you're in my affiliate program, that's on Simplero. So I've been a big user. I mean, I go to Simplero literally multiple times a day, right? And then I've been submitting feature requests as you and you the team know like since 2022. I'm like, hey, what about this? Hey, what about that? And I'm so impressed. I have taken on so much software in my life. Obviously, all of us have, right? I feel like I have a really good intuition about good software and good software teams because most software that I use, I also submit feature requests and I hear nothing back. Nothing. Like years after years, I'm like, they don't care. They don't care. But Simplero does because you guys have implemented literally probably dozens of my requests, like, and also not just mine, but many, many others. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, this team cares, and the customer service is great. Anyway, I didn't expect this to be a commercial for Simplero, and I didn't mean it to be, but I'm just being authentic here and saying how we met and why we're still why we're where we're good friends and talking. And I'm just grateful for you, man. I'm grateful for you, Calvin, for your
Thank you.
courage, for your diligence in creating this product and having this community. Because Simplero is not just a product, but it's also a community. So folks, go check out simplero.community. That's literally the URL, simplero.community. And we are here though because
So
you've
can I
been, yeah,
just comment on some of the things you said? So first, um, the comparison, right? Like we started the
yeah,
same year. It's like I've grown a
yeah,
bigger business. You
amazing.
have lots of other companies started around the same time. One of them being Kajabi, for example.
Oh,
They're
interesting.
even bigger, right?
Sure,
So,
sure.
but we can all get into this comparison game of
Yeah,
like, oh, but
yeah,
this like, who
yeah, yeah.
cares,
Who
right?
cares?
It's not a competition. It's not a
Yeah,
like. Of course, the market's competitive, but life is not a
sure.
competition. Who
Yes.
gives a crap, right? And importantly on that point, because to what you said at the end, like your feature requests are just on point and awesome. Like, why wouldn't I implement them? Like,
Thank you.
Jen, like you're really good at this. And what
Yeah,
you say, like the intuition that you talk about is not just like it's you're very clear on like, oh, this is a small thing that's needed that would just make a big difference. And you see that very clearly and you're able
yeah,
to articulate it in a way that's just like complete no-brainer to go implement. So
yeah,
you're so generous with that.
yeah.
And that's not normal. Like most people are not like that. They're
Thank you,
just
dude.
like, oh, I want this thing, and then they just like start to like, throw up on the page somewhere because they're upset or something, right? And you're very
Yeah,
thoughtful and very
yeah.
and like very clear. So it's
No,
a
thank you,
huge
dude.
asset. And um, looking back, in many ways, I've done my business the dumb way,
Huh.
meaning I didn't take venture capital,
Oh
right?
yeah, right.
I
Yeah.
haven't I
So
haven't
grateful for
done
that.
anything like crazy to go out and scale. Like this could have been like $100 million company, $200 million company, possibly at this point, if I
Yeah.
had been willing to play the game differently.
Right.
But that wasn't what I wanted. And
Mm.
there's a period where I was like, oh, I fucked up and I didn't do it right. And all these
Oh
others are so
yeah.
much better than me and blah, blah, blah.
Totally.
And then I realized I live the life that I want to live. I get to
Yes.
work with people like you. I get to
Yes.
create every day with my team, and we have a
Totally.
great chemistry and great energy
Great
in the
team.
team. We have a great community. Like I
Yeah.
get to do work that I
I
love every
know.
day. Who
Yeah.
cares about like the
Yes.
numbers and
Totally.
all of the comparison and all that? It doesn't matter.
Dude, I'm so with you
Success
on
is
that.
today. Success
Yes.
is in the work that you get to do right now, today,
Oh,
every day,
dang.
not in like whatever happens in the future.
That's man, that's so empowering. I feel the same way. I mean, that's why I don't regret the size of my business at all because actually in some ways I'm kind of glad because I still get to be and to like model what a solopreneur is,
Mhm.
and it's like truly and it's because of software, because of tech like Simplero that allows me to do this kind of thing, right? So I want to now dive into why we're here because you have been studying mindset. You have been coaching on mindset. A lot of people see you as, okay, the software CEO, but a lot of people don't know that you coach clients. You coach,
Mhm.
you coach clients. I mean, has consistently for years, right? You've been doing that for years, and obviously coach yourself too. So you focus, whereas a lot of like business coaches focus on the strategy, and you have great strategies too. You coach people on that when needed. You always tell people, let's first get the mindset, get let's first work on that. And so I'm really curious because I know a lot of people watching this are like, all right, George, just give me the strategies, just tell me what to do, like on a Tuesday at 3 p.m. so that I can be successful. I mean, I hear that a lot. Like, George, I just need to know, like, all right, Monday at 10 a.m. do this, like Tuesday at 2 p.m. do that, like Thursday. I just need to know literally what to do and I'll be successful. And I'm like, I've been telling that to you for years. Like my courses are all pretty much all strategic courses. And yet here we are. Like most
Mhm.
of my students still struggle with a lot of the stuff that's actually mindset related. So I wanted to first get your take on this. What do you think when our people, when they see the word mindset or they think about mindset coaching, what do you think is the way they kind of brush it aside and go, that's not important? Why is that? And what do you what are they thinking about mindset as?
Hmm. Yeah, perfect question. And just to add to what you were saying about, like, I've told you that, like, 3 years ago or 10 years ago, I started following Gary Vaynerchuk in
Yes.
2008. In
Oh wow.
2008, I
Yeah.
started following Gary Vee. In
Wow.
2010, I flew to New York to have dinner with him on the Upper East Side.
Oh my gosh.
For real. I know we go way back. Right? We're not close or anything, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
he knows who
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have a relationship.
Totally.
And I had a private meeting with him where he got me into the calendar to advise me on business. If there's one thing that Gary has been consistent about
Yeah.
for the entire time since
Right.
2008, which is
Yeah.
around the time that he started to blow up,
Yes.
um, it's create fucking content.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
create
yeah.
some fucking content.
If
And
there's
how,
one message, yeah, totally.
right. And of those years from 2008 till 2025 is what, 17 years? How long did it take me before I took that message to heart?
Oh man,
Right. A
for sure.
long time. And in
Yeah.
some ways, and we've been working on this separately, like, it's only now that I'm really getting it. It took me 17 years to get it
Yeah.
because it's not about that.
Yeah.
It's about the mindset piece. But so when most people hear mindset, they're like, yeah, yeah, I've done that. Like, I've read the books. I had a client once in
Right.
my coaching program. She didn't last long. She was, she came in and I was like, well, like, if you've been trying this hard for this long and you don't have the results, there's something that's missing. And she's like,
Right.
well, like, I've done all the work. Like, I've read The Big
That's
Leap
it.
twice. I've
Yeah.
read The Big Leap twice. Like, what else do you want? I'm like, I don't know. I've read it 5 times. I keep finding new shit.
Yeah.
Right? It's like
Right.
the if you don't have the results, there's still something going on. I call them mind bugs.
Yes.
I
Yes.
like to use a different term than like limiting beliefs can be like very surface,
Yeah.
but what I'm getting at is something that's very deep. It's so deep to the core of your being. It's not conscious at all. It's how you see yourself, it's how you see the world and your place in the world.
Yes. Yes.
All right. And it's these very core things that are like, I don't belong, or they don't deserve me, or I'm not safe, I'm not worthy. Um, I did something wrong. I am bad. And these are not like, they might not have that specific wording,
You're
but
right.
those are the pattern. And there's like a
Mm.
dozen of them or so of these really core patterns that like be it's not until the age of 8 that we start to have cognition. Until the age
Right.
of 8,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
just absorb like sponges everything that's going on around us. And some of it is verbal, some of it is more energetic. It's all vibration, it's all frequency, right? Just words are just sound. It's all vibration, it's all frequency. But that vibration gets coded in our being. And now it's just who we are. And we can't even imagine that the world could be any different until someone points it out to us. And then we're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we start to awaken to a new perspective, and we're like, wow, okay, there's another possibility here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the thing that people don't see. And
Right.
so they're like, well, I've already done mindset. Well,
Yes.
sure,
Yes. Yes.
but
I
there's
think
more.
that's what it's keeps keeping people away from doing the kind of mindset work that you're talking about is well, because a lot of our audience people are personal development junkies,
Right.
actually.
Yeah.
Like you said, oh, I've read this book twice, right? I have a certification in such and such. I know
Right.
mindset, better than most people. And yet here we are. Like, let's look at
Mhm.
your, but like it's like, have you applied mindset to your business? Have you observed where your business is stalling and how that relates to a deeper mindset issue? So I would love to like for you
And
to,
well,
yeah, go
let me
ahead.
add to
Go ahead.
that is so for me, like, I think a lot of us in entrepreneurship, in coaching, et cetera, get into it because we feel that there's something wrong with us.
Yeah.
We're not enough. We're not
Yeah.
good enough. But if only, and maybe combined with also, I did something wrong. I did it wrong. So now I
Mm,
need to learn to do it right.
mm,
And so we hire coaches to get to be better, to fix the thing that's broken, that we think
yeah.
is broken with us. And we
Totally.
read books and we get into self-development. But that core wound of that core lie, that core illusion that there is something wrong with us, is the one thing that we don't look at. You know,
Yeah.
or we don't really get to the root of it.
Yeah.
And so we'll keep like doing that. That's the whole self-development junkie. It's like we'll keep looking for something outside of us to give us an answer
Right.
that will get us there. And I think a lot of coaching is all that. It's people who
Mm,
feel shame, I am wrong, guilt, I did something wrong.
yeah.
And now, oh, if I pay you and hire you as my coach, you will teach me what I need to do so I can be the thing so I'm not wrong. Maybe I need to be, we all have codings for this. I need to be famous or successful or rich or have this body or have the
Yeah.
perfect relationship or the perfect family or whatever it is. There's some external circumstance that we think is going to make us finally feel like we are good enough, we are safe, we did it right, we belong, like all of these things. And nothing external can ever do that, but we will keep seeking. And so, and I've been doing that. Like I've spent millions of dollars on all kinds of coaching programs and masterminds, and a lot of it was that. A lot of it was based in that.
Wow, dude. This is really good. And so then because
Hmm.
it's so deep, because of these um mistaken identities, or emotional wounds perhaps are so deep. Like, is it possible to actually, shift that and therefore shift our business results too?
It's 1,000% possible.
Okay.
Yes,
And
because
yeah,
they're all lies, right? The lie
yeah,
that I'm not worthy, I don't belong. Like, what does that even mean?
yeah,
How can I not belong? It's nonsense when you think about it, but
yeah,
it's not a mental thing. It's
right,
beyond like it's in the body. Our conscious, our unconscious mind is the body. It
right.
lives in our body, literally as like peptides and molecules. Candace Pert wrote about this, molecules of
Huh.
emotion. Like these things literally live in our body as peptides, as chemicals, as molecules. And so um, when we expose it, when we see it, those peptides will get out. That's why sometimes you have like crazy breath when you have these deep awakenings, or you might start crying or whatever. But it's leaving the body, and the energy patterns around it are leaving. And then the neural pathways that have us going down is like, oh, I fucked up, I did something wrong. Like, I don't belong. Like those, as the more we catch ourselves doing it, the more that neural pathway is going to start to get overgrown, and we won't go down that as much anymore. Or at
Right,
some point, it'll be like 2 years, and you're like, oh, I haven't even had that thought in 2 years. Like, whoa, great. You
right.
don't notice that it stops,
Yes, that's
but
right.
you got to practice that. Practice stopping, returning to what's true, and the truth will always win.
Mhm.
The truth will always beat a lie. It takes energy to keep a lie in place.
I love it. Yes, man. Okay, I'd love to hear an example of either from your own life and as applied to your business, or a client, the student's life as applied to the business, where like there's an example of how the change of the thought led to a change of action or a change of results, or something shifted in
Yes.
their business as a result. Yeah, tell me a story about that. Like whether it's, yeah, whatever you can think of.
So here's an example. As an entrepreneur that wants to grow the business, at some point you need to hire people, right?
Yeah.
And at some point you need to build a team. And so for me, and that's always it's like the chasm, right? Like from being yourself to then building a team, because it's a very different skill to build a team and lead a team than it is to just do the work, do the
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I ran into was when hiring engineers was that the main way that I got approval and recognition and love from my father was that I was good at computers. So I
Wow.
was a good programmer, and my dad would see that and he'd be like, "Oh my God, you're so good." And I get all this love and praise and recognition. So subconsciously, I was worried that if I hired another really good engineer, my dad would love him more than he loved me.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Yeah.
And this is what happens all the time. We have these cross commitments. There's a part of us that's committed to not getting the thing, and then consciously we're very committed to getting the outcome. But the unconscious mind is going to win. It literally is a million times more powerful in terms of raw processing power. And so until you as Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will drive your life, and you'll call it fate.
Yeah.
And so you'll just keep bumping up against it. You can't hire that right person, and either you don't get anyone who's qualified, or you can't keep them, or whatever. But it won't work out until you make it conscious. I had a client in similar situation. She was trying to hire or she had hired an assistant, and it just kept not working out. And it turned out that this was related to her programming that said, I have to do it all, like a martyr kind of role. I'm the one that has to do it. Nobody can do it right, and doing everything and doing it right is how I keep my family together, because that was her experience growing up.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, of course, she can't find someone who can do it as good as her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so innocent. It's so innocent, but it's not harmless.
Right. Wow. I love that. Yeah. It's unnoticed. And therefore it
Yeah,
runs a program that runs her life.
right.
Okay. I have several.
And what I
Yeah.
love too is that it's not just in the area of hiring an assistant,
Okay.
right?
Sure.
It's everywhere. It's also in her
Everywhere.
relationship
Yeah.
with her husband and her kids. And so
Uh-huh.
that's the beautiful thing. That's why I talk about your business as your spiritual gym.
Yes.
You go into business and then you figure, like, you run into something, and then we figure out what it's really about at the deepest core level, not
Yes.
at the surface level of trying to come up with a new strategy, but like, what is the root cause of
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
We unhook that by just getting the conscious awareness on it. So now we can see what's happening. And then that just immediately dissolves it. Like it might come back, like we talked about,
Yeah.
but it will never come back in the same way. Now you
Yeah.
have awareness on it. And then that's going to that's going to influence all areas of your life. And now, like your health, your body, your well-being, your family, and now it's going to impact your family too. They're going to be
Totally.
different
Yeah.
because of it. So it's this beautiful thing, right? Where we started with, I can't hire an assistant. I
Right.
hate my assistant. It's not working. And now we're just like, it's just spreading like circles in the water, like rings
It
in the water.
unravels, and of course everything's connected, especially from
Mhm.
our mindset, and therefore it touches everything. I'm like kind of laughing because you mentioned spiritual gym, and I don't know if you know, but like years and years ago, I kind of got inspired by the idea that we are basically living in a soul gym.
Oh, 100%. Right.
And it's like, and I started
Everything.
using that term soldier, and of course that, not surprisingly,
Yeah.
that resonates with you separately as
Yeah.
well.
Well,
And yeah,
literally everything. I believe that literally everything that we experience in life is about that. Is about
yeah,
showing us where we're not free, where we're not fully allowing ourselves, our
yeah,
souls and spirit to be present here,
yeah,
and release that. That's it. And we get so caught up in like, why can't I get more clients? Or like, why
sure,
like this,
yeah,
why this, why that, my wife this, and my husband that, whatever. Like we get caught up in the minutia, the drama of it, and completely missing the point. It's not about that.
yeah, yeah,
Like we have some problem that you have in your life, and you're like, how do I solve it? Like, how do I solve it? Like, maybe I need a cream, or maybe I need a new hire, or maybe I need a new ad strategy, or whatever. Like we focus on that level.
yeah,
Kind of the worst thing that could happen is that you actually solve that problem. Because what will life have to do then? It's going to just smack a bigger problem in front of you,
right,
until you deal with the thing that is the point of this,
yes,
which is inside of
totally,
you.
yes. And then, and interestingly, once you deal with that or dissolve that thing, suddenly all the problems connected to that thing disappear.
Right.
They no longer have the power that they used to. I want to kind of cover two common situations that I can immediately think of that are problems for my clients, my students. One of the problems we'll talk about next is the sort of like marketing sales problem. But before then, I want to talk just about the problem of not taking action. Like I've known, in fact, it's almost a rule. Like the most talented people that I know, the most wise, smart, knowledgeable, well-read people, clients, students that I've had, have sometimes had the most problem taking action. Like they just oh, my family. I'm visiting. I was visiting my family last week. That's why I didn't do X, Y, Z. Oh, my family's visiting me this week. Like it's oftentimes family related, or like, oh yeah, I went to this retreat, or I'm helping someone else with some other project. That's why
Are
I
these
didn't.
mostly women?
Yeah, mostly women. I tend to attract mostly women, but men too, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm
Because
really,
I know that there's a
yeah,
strong tendency in women to put everyone else first and their chores first
yes,
before
yes,
the
yes.
thing
That's
for
that is
themselves,
one of the
right?
reasons. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I think, and so I'm really curious how what you would speak to that. I mean, what's underlying that they might pay attention to that helps start to unravel that knot that keeps them
Right.
not taking action.
The first place I would look is there judgment towards the non-action? Are they judging themselves for not acting? Are they saying, "Oh, I'm too slow," or I'm like, I had a client yesterday who said literally, "I'm a space cadet."
Oh, okay,
It's
yep,
like she's an older
yeah,
lady, and
yeah.
was something that she was told as a kid. Oh, you're a space cadet, and she
Oh,
still
interesting.
was
Yes,
using that language towards herself. I wasn't sure what she meant by it, but it basically meant like I'm like, I'm like,
spacey. Yeah,
yeah, spacey, right? Like
yeah,
not really present. Like,
yeah.
and if there's judgment that says I shouldn't be that way, that's not helping. That's
Mm,
not helping, right? Like if she, to the extent that she's a space cadet, that was the survival mechanism because she was in pain. So we need to get past that judgment to what is the underlying cause here and be with that girl that felt insecure and scared. Like I did that too. I created a very rich inner environment because I felt unsafe in my physical environment, in my emotional environment. Right? That was my survival. I created this like little inner cave that I could be in. And I like later on in school, I'd literally hide because I was bullied and I was the older
yeah.
kids that would beat me when they
Wow.
saw me. And so I'd hide in the library and there were these pillows and there were books and I could create my own little world in there and I felt safe. Right. So,
Yeah,
and that's so innocent, but it's not harmless when we keep doing it, but we don't need to judge it.
I love that. That's a really powerful first step. Um, well, so let's say she observes it,
And so
stops
maybe
judging
it's
it.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, don't judge it, step one. And then what is going on here, right?
yeah.
Is it that you're setting a target that you're not really desiring, like something that you think you should do for others or to be approved or something? Because I believe
Oh,
that desires are divine. Our desires are divinely gifted, like they're given to us by the divine. And when our desires are not distorted by fear or hurt or other things, they're perfectly aligned with our divine reason for being here on the planet.
yeah,
And so it might be that they have distorted desires that are not actually their true desires. And then again, there's not going to be that energy to actually do it. It might be that they do are connected with their true honest desires, but then there's programming that says I can't, right? A lot of people are like, well, if I have a bigger business, there's going to be more of a burden because there's going to be more stuff to do. Or if I like, they're scared of being seen because to them being seen was combined with shame and embarrassment, for example. Or like there can be all kinds of programmings on this, but
yeah.
that's what we need to decipher and figure out what is actually going on here for this person. But it
Yes,
starts with not judging any of it.
right. Oh man, this is great. I another knot in there, which also applies, like I said, to men too, because I've had male clients, students over the years have this exact same issue, is when I noticed that they have taken some action in the past, like they maybe they have a website or they have a PDF they sent me or whatever, and it's like really well put together. So I'm like, there's perfectionism here. Like the
Mhm.
reason why they're not consistently taking the next step is because they have this big thing in their head about what that's supposed to look like the next time they take
Mhm.
it, or else what? And so Calvin,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
curious, what do you think? Or else what?
Yeah. I mean, that's usually like criticism, rejection, right? I
Yeah,
did something wrong. I am wrong, right? Like
yeah, yeah,
one of those.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think something that I like to say is that most people want to want more than they want the thing.
Mm.
Meaning, I'll
Uh-huh.
unpack
Yep.
that, right?
Yeah.
Like
I get it.
if you ask most people, do you want to lose weight? It's like, yeah, I want to lose weight.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
There's a wanting to lose weight. Well,
Yes.
okay, so what are you doing about it? Nothing.
Right.
Right. Well, if you had to do something about it, like what do you think are some things you could do that would work? Well, I could probably eat a little less or eat a little healthier.
Yeah.
I could, go for a run every once in a while. It's like, that's great. So if you actually want to lose weight, you would do those things, but you don't want to lose weight. You want
Yeah.
to lose weight,
Right.
but you want the
Right.
wanting of it,
Yeah.
which then gives them a feeling of like, yeah, I'm a good person. I'm doing something right. Like I'm like because they have a programming that says I'm a bad person. I had that, right? I'm fat, therefore I'm bad. I was teased with being fat as a kid. I wasn't fat. I was like a little chubby,
Mm.
but I was never fat. But that was
Wow.
in my mind. I was. They called
Mm.
me. My birth name was Lars. My given name was Lars.
Uh-huh.
And so they called me Lars Potars because Potars is like potato and it's like
Oh,
round and like that was
yeah.
my nickname. I hated it.
Oh, damn.
And so I would judge myself so much for being fat. And then it would be like that judgment would then I would eat because of the judgment because it feels bad. And then I would want to lose weight to get away from being bad for being fat. But also weirdly, because that's how the mind works, I was committed to actually staying fat at the same time because we get into this self-punishment loop. And it's like, yeah, if I punish myself for being fat, that means I'm a good person and not a bad person.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
just keeps the whole pattern in place.
Dang. Yeah. That's so good. I want to move into common, big pain point for a lot of people, which is the marketing and selling of things. And you're so terrific at that. I mean, you've grown Simplero. I think that you have like a lot of good intuition and strategies for that. But again, mindset. Why do you think a lot of, I'll say soulpreneurs, people who are very heart-based, I mean, the people in our programs, why do a lot of soulpreneurs struggle with marketing, visibility, sales, um, even though they might even try? But what do you think that's about?
Uh, I think a lot of solopreneurs struggle with their marketing, um, in part because like why do you end up being a solopreneur? Like why would you
Yeah,
call yourself that, right?
yeah.
There's probably some sort of wounding in the past that like we all got on the spiritual path because we were in pain, right? There's some wounding. It's not a good or bad. It's
Hmm.
actually it's a gift, right? It's
Yeah,
it's what got us to start to awaken and open up. But there's the cliche of the wounded healer and the healer that won't heal themselves, right? Like there's a tendency like we're wounded, therefore we get into the healing. Now we want to start heal other people, but we forget that we need to really heal ourselves. And this happens all the time. And so there's some underlying pattern that hasn't been dealt with yet that then will manifest the not having the result that you want in some way. And it can be like, I don't deserve, my gift is not valuable,
right.
I'm not worthy, like selling is wrong. Like I've had all of these, right?
Yeah,
Like sales is bad, it's nasty, like persuasion, reluctance to persuade people because like I don't want to like that's
yeah,
up to you. I don't want to try to persuade you
yeah, yeah.
to do anything. Like I want to tell you what to do. All those kinds like money is bad, like
Yeah. It's a big
all
one.
these things that get mixed into it. And I think it's very interesting to me. Like we you mentioned the politics in the beginning, right? A lot of people who are heart centered and spiritual tend to become left
Yes,
leaning
yes,
politically, which to me is always odd because to me left is more about like people don't have the power within themselves, so we need to actually help them and have more welfare and take care of those people and
yes,
all that stuff, where
yes,
my spirituality says we all have God within us.
yes,
We all have
yes,
the power of the creator within us
yes.
to
That's right.
create the life as we want. And rather than coddling people and saying, oh, you don't have, I have it, but you
Right.
don't have it, and I'll
Yes.
help you because I can do it, so I'll give you something to help you because I'm
External,
godlike, but you're not.
external
Right.
sustenance, external
Right.
sustenance is required. Yeah.
Exactly. Rather than I'd rather say, hey, here's how to do it. Here's how I'm doing it. I'm
Yeah.
demonstrating it in a way that causes no harm, but that works for me. And now I can share with you how it's done.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can do it for yourself.
Totally. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
And another reason I think why, I mean, I see this again and again, particularly with soulpreneurs, is
Mm-hmm.
they want to sell whatever they feel like selling. And
Mm-hmm.
I always say, like, the easiest way to solve your marketing problem and sales problem is to sell what people want you to sell them. It's
Mhm.
like it's like we have so many possible things we could sell, could create and sell. And it's like we have within us, I believe, dozens of possible products, services, solutions, packages, programs. And out of those dozens, if you're starting with the ones that nobody wants right now because it's not in the culture, it's not solving their pain, it's not, you're going to have to try really, really hard. I mean, yes,
Right.
you might even try to persuade, and that might not even work. It's like,
Right.
and yet there are other things that you could say gently present, and they'll be like, oh, great, yes, I've been looking for that. And
Yeah.
I think there's something deep there, and I'm curious what you think about this. Like, there's something deep there about if I don't sell just there's also it also relates to like, oh, I feel like doing this right now. It's like it's kind of going on whim rather than
Mhm.
being a bit more strategic and go, hmm, it's so funny because to me
I
it's
mean,
like,
to
yeah, go
be
ahead.
blunt
Yeah,
about it, it's a
yeah.
childish move, right? You're
Oh,
relating to your business as a kid
yeah,
versus being the
100%.
adult about it.
100%. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. I
And
think
I've
so.
been guilty of this too.
No,
Like,
me too.
there's
Of
no
course.
shame in that.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah,
judgment. There's no shame. But
yeah,
we just got to look at it and say, hey, is that working for you? Is
yeah.
that what you want?
Right.
So yeah, in business, it's like, you know, it's not my role. It's like just physics, the physics of the marketplace.
Yes,
It's
right.
how the human psyche works. We just got
Yes,
to play within those bounds or innovate. That's fine too.
right.
But the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah,
Is it working or not?
yeah,
And I think if you are committed to, again, it comes back to the mind bugs. Like the mind bugs are
yeah.
really about how do I see myself?
Right.
If I'm committed to an image of myself, unconsciously, innocently, not harmless, to an image of myself as a misunderstood genius.
Mm,
Right.
yes.
What
Right.
better way than to put out products that nobody wants because they're so ahead of the market and they're like so beyond, right? Or just like, or like, I don't belong in this world.
Mm,
Great. Now
yeah.
we can put out stuff that again doesn't connect with people.
That prove the fact that look,
Exactly.
yeah.
And this is how the mind works. And it's so, again, it's so innocent,
Ooh,
but
I
it's not serving you or the people that you're here for, right? We
yeah.
all came here because we we came here to heal some wounding
Yes.
so that we could carry that burden for others, so that we could help others with that same wounding.
Yes.
And so you staying stuck in these patterns innocently isn't helping, isn't serving the people that you came here to serve. And it's not
Yeah.
serving you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
serving your ego. It's serving your small self. It's one of the things when you don't, without addressing these mind bugs, the
Yes.
best you can ever hope for is to be the best version of your small, limited self.
Yeah.
Like, and people do that all the time. If you go to some of the big coaches, I'm not going to name names, but if I were,
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
We would recognize them. Yeah.
yeah, like if you look at some of the big coaches, it's all about that. Let me give you more strategies to like pound the walls of the box that you live within.
Right.
But I'm not going to help you actually just dissolve that box
Yeah.
and just be in the world
Right.
as you. Because, like, I mean,
Wow.
who are you? Who am I? Like, who are we? We are pure awareness, pure consciousness, pure spirit. Like, that's who
Yes.
we are.
Yes.
This body here is just like temporary
Yes.
meat suit. Our
Yes.
beliefs, our stories, all these things are just temporary devices.
Yeah.
All of these mind bugs and limitations that just makes me identify with a smaller version of me. And that version of me, that smaller self, can never achieve what I'm really longing for. It just can't because it's not within the container, it's not within the construct.
Yeah. Dude, this is awesome. Yeah, I think what you said about not belonging, um, which it brings me up the quote, brings up the quote that says, you know, you be not be not of the world, but be in the world. I think that came from Jesus, possibly. But
Mhm.
it's the idea that, yeah, it's true. Yeah, you are a star seed or you are a soul or whatever you want to call it. But you're here to grow, which
Mhm.
in which requires interacting with others. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're here to love, which
Mhm.
requires interacting with others. And I'm like, if you're here to love and to care and to grow yourself and to care and love others, you need to love them enough to provide something that they want. It's like don't just care about yourself and like you said, being be childish. I just care about this. No, you got to care about them too, and what do they want, so that you can actually be in alignment with the people you can already reach. Start there, and then we can grow. But
Mhm.
yeah. So okay,
And it's funny how,
yeah,
again, it's like in the spiritual realm, in the
yeah,
soul world, right?
yes.
There's this like, oh, it's almost like I've been studying a lot of Barbara Brennan lately.
Oh,
She's
okay.
awesome. If
Yeah.
you haven't checked her, if you haven't come across it, do you
Hands
know
of
who she is?
Light, is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Healing Hands, yeah.
She's I mean, yeah, I
I
love
don't I
her.
don't know
She's
her stuff
awesome.
well, but I've had friends and colleagues who yeah.
Yeah, I've been reading all her books
Wow.
and working with like five different healers that are trained by her lately,
Wow.
and it's incredible. I love it. But one of
Yeah.
the things she says in the meditations is like ground.
Yeah.
Like don't try to get out this way. Ground and let it come from the inside, from your core star, from
Yes.
your tantien, like which are two different
Yes.
points.
Yes. Yes.
But
That's right.
like that's like get the energy from there and then expand it out. And I think a lot of spiritual people are like doing that move. Like they want to do that. Whereas
Right.
like we're here on this planet right now. And so one of the things is figure out the mechanics of, business.
Yeah.
But also another area that a lot of spiritual quote unquote people overlook is their bodies.
Yes.
Build your body, build strength, build like get a strong, healthy, vital body. Why not? Why wouldn't you? Right? This is our temple here on earth. This is our meat suit.
Yes.
Let's make the most of it.
That's right. Yeah. 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 If if you're in a vehicle, you want to make sure that vehicle is well tuned.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Totally.
Because we are not just this, like this thing is not there to carry this around.
That's right.
Like all
Yeah.
one piece.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
not,
We're
not separate.
completely connected. Okay, this is awesome. And we could go on and on. There's so many other issues I could bring. And I want to mention you not only run the software company, but you also do coaching. And recently, and I don't know how long this is going to last, but recently you've been inviting the Simplero community as a whole to some of the coaching sessions, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
You tell
Yeah.
us a bit about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have two coaching programs. I have one that I call Boot Camp, which is the one that we've now made free to everybody on Simplero,
Amazing.
and actually secret. Just join the community. We don't check if you have a Simplero account, so you can just anybody can join.
Simplero.community, that's the website. It's not
Right.
Simplero.com is the actual software, but Simplero.community is how you get to the community part. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I have Simplero Academy where we go even deeper
Yes.
on the minds, mugs, and the strategy and like much more open, where
Yeah.
boot camp is like really like the laying the foundation.
Right.
And it
Yeah.
and it is that combination of mind debugging and strategy together. Now, I would love to just make it free forever
Mhm.
for everybody in that community as part of my gift to our members. Like my mission is to serve entrepreneurs. I spent so many years as an entrepreneur struggling, trying to figure all this stuff
Yeah,
out. And
for
I just want
sure.
to, I think entrepreneurs are the greatest force for good on
Yes.
the planet,
Yes. Yes.
literally.
I
Like
agree.
we are in the business of solving problems. We only exist if we solve problems for
Yeah.
people who care about it enough to actually pay us money for it. And I think it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. And the better, the more the entrepreneurs are aligned with their soul, their spirit, their desire, their reason for being here, the better work they can do in the world. So that's really my mission. The only hesitation I have is that one of the sayings in the industry and something that I've experienced in my life as well is people pay attention when they pay,
Yes.
right? They only pay
True.
attention when they pay. And
Yeah.
so when I make this available for free, are people actually gonna value it and pay attention to it? So that's my experiment right now. If they do, and if it works, and if it continues and it grows, I'm happy to continue doing it forever.
Right.
But
Amazing.
if it turns out it fizzles out because people aren't invested in it, then we'll have to rethink.
And by the way, it's worth paying for anyway, I have to say. So
Oh yeah,
whether
yeah.
by the time you watch this and go check it out, if it's paid or if it's free, I think it's worth engaging with. If you have enjoyed this conversation.
Been in these like $30,000 like
Oh yeah, man.
coaching programs and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And honestly, honest to God, and I am biased,
Yeah, of
but
course. Well,
also honest
we
to
all are.
God,
Yeah.
I think this is worth way more, like
Yeah.
way more than any of those programs in terms of what is actually going to do for you.
Yeah.
Because for two reasons. One is that like I've distilled the marketing strategy down to a very like first principles based way of looking at it, which None of the people that I spent millions of dollars on learning from ever taught me. I had to decipher this myself.
Yeah.
Nobody gave me this framework.
Yeah.
The second piece is none of them are addressing the mind bugs.
Yeah.
And without that, you can have all the strategies in the world. It's not going to make any difference.
Yeah, and they're if they touch on it, they don't touch on it in a deep way that you do, and you connect it back to the strategy. So I think it's incredibly valuable. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. If you want to check out Simplero, the Simplero community, I will put links below this video. I'm a little bit selfish in saying that because the links below this video will be my affiliate links into Simplero and Simplero Academy. But however you find it, I hope you do. My affiliate links just because I love Simplero so much and I endorse it all the time. Like I might as well create an affiliate for it. So, but I really hope that you all have enjoyed this interview. This is just the beginning of the conversation, right? So please comment below if you have anything, if you resonated with any part of this and you want to like call out a particular concept you heard or story or idea or something that really spoke to you, comment below, share it with us. I would be so gratified to see that it touched you. And if you have any questions for Calvin, for me about Simplero, particularly, you can of course comment below and share that too. But Calvin, it's always such a joy to be with you, brother. And yeah, looking forward to more. So thank you so much for making yourself available for this.
Likewise, my friend, it's such an honor to be with you. I'm so glad that we got connected back then, and
Yeah, for
good
sure.
to know you.
Thanks, man.